Wake up, black people. This is not a song. This is a warning. This is for every black mother who buried a child. Every black child who never got the chance to become great. Every elder who remembers when the community stood together. And above all, this is dedicated to the black woman. The first teacher, the first nurturer, the first protector, the foundation of the family. Without a sacrifice, without a strength, without a love, yeah, many of us wouldn't be here today. Wake up, black people. Wake up, black people. Wake up, black people, look around and see the war ain't overseas, it's right in our streets. Young kings killing kings before they 23. Then another mother crying on the evening news feed. Another little baby growing up without a dad. Another young sister carrying trauma from the past. Another grandmother praying while she holding back tears, watching violence multiply year after year. We scream for justice when the world does us wrong, but how we gonna rise if we destroy our own? Every funeral, another dream laid to rest. Every casket, another wound in the community's chest. The ancestors didn't survive for us to die like this. Didn't fight through oppression for us to live like this. Somewhere we lost the code, somewhere we lost the way. And if we don't change now, what future can we save? Wake up, black people. The babies need us now. Wake up, black people. The mothers need us now. Protect our women, protect our children, protect our elders. Let's rebuild our village. Wake up, black people. Yeah. Wake up, black people. This verse for the black woman, the queen of the household, the backbone, the survival, the one who carried generations through the darkest trials. When the world was cold, she was the warmth. When the family broke, she held the form. When fathers were absent, she carried the weight. Working 2 jobs, still putting food on plates. Who taught us our first words? Who wiped away our tears? Who prayed over our beds and fought away our fear? The black woman deserves protection and respect, not abuse, not neglect, not betrayal, not disrespect. If she suffers, the family suffers. If the family suffers, the community suffers. And if the community suffers, the future suffers. So every real man listen and honor your mother, protect your daughter, love your sister, cherish your wife. Because a community that protects its women protects its future. Ow! Wake up, black people.
All right, there you go. I don't know what that was. Let me know, man. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, everybody. You know this shit is. I see that just goes to show I've been off my game a few days, for more than a few days, but here I am. And there you are. Welcome to Undergroove Podcast, everybody. We're touching bases with the people. All right. It's always a good look to be able to do this. All right. Believe it or not. I'm going to get right to it, man, because I see no matter what is being said, you know, in terms of how we need to be unifying, you know, coming together, doing the things we need to do so that we can put in place, man, some type of assurance that we'll survive. It falls upon deaf ears, man. You know, every day we look around, it's the same stuff. You know, I can't wait for the day to where we're talking about, hey, man, uh, we're unified. You know what I mean? Not we're coming together. We've come together, and this is what it is. Every set, every hood, every gang, you know, black men and women are coming together, and we're looking out for the future of the people, you know, the kids. That's our future, you know. Every day, man, we see something that would throw a wrench in that. Every day. And it's as though, man, people are looking for it's clickbait type stuff. You know what I mean? Hits, likes, subs, a check, you know, and they don't care what they have to do, you know, to attain that, to get any of that. And that's what's sad, man. That's what's sad. And I'm talking specifically about this Crip Mac character. Let's get it straight, you know what I mean? And what's sad is, you know, man, bro gonna lose his life, man. I'm just keeping it real, man. You know, and I'm not saying this to jump on no bandwagon or nothing. I'm saying this in the hopes that this brother hears this, or somebody who loves him hears this. Stop with the antics, man, and the shenanigans. It's not gonna pay off, bro. Not like you think. And that ain't just for Crip Mac, man. That's for all of us, man. Period, point blank. You know, we're not doing what we're supposed to do, man. That again, that would give some indication that we're thinking straight, that we're thinking about not just our future, the individual, but everything we've birthed, that we've brought into this world. We're trying to make sure that there's something for them to look forward to. So when fathers are dead or in prison, incarcerated, half of that structure that's supposed to raise these children, man, you know, is gone. Now this burden is laid upon the backs, the shoulders of this woman or the grandmother or the grandparents or an uncle, an auntie, a brother or a sister. We're squandering not just time, but opportunity. And the opportunity exists on the same platforms these dudes be dropping this bull crap on. These platforms are an opportunity, man, for us to get it together, whether we realize that or not. You know, if you really look at it, on the face of it, man, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, any of them, Facebook, these are platforms that are at our disposal to improve our relationships with each other. You know, it gives us an opportunity, man, to present to one another something positive, man, something empowering, you know, something that's motivational, inspirational, man, something that would help us to evolve from the stage we in, you know, because, you know, again, man, it seems like all of us, for the most part, are in this stage of arrested development. We on kid shit. And other people love this shit, man. I know the platforms love it. That's why they expose the algorithm to you guys. So you go out and do stupid shit that will put your life at risk. So not only will you be in jeopardy, but the individual who feels that they got something to prove because you own a street they don't own, popping disrespect, that's two birds with one stone. That's a lose-lose. That's not a win-win. That's not somebody being up one and all this. Oh, man, it's a lose-lose, period, you know? But again, man, it astonishes me, man, that brothers, man, and sisters don't even recognize the opportunity, man, to improve our situation via this platform or these platforms. This brother pull up the way he did, man, that's crazy work, man. You can't be that desperate. You can't, man. And I'm advise you, man, don't do that, man, with nobody. I would advise anybody not to do that with your set, your hood. It don't pay, bro. Or what they paying, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Crip Mac, you have an opportunity, man, to bring something different to the table, bro. You have a following. All right. Now, when you go out into the communities, wherever you go, and you look out for the homeless, those who are less fortunate, boom, that in and of itself garners you likes, follows, and subscriptions. You never have to mix that weird shit, that goofy shit, that buster shit with any of that, bro. It's going to carry itself. You don't need no extras, man. But somebody's not telling you that. Somebody does not have your best interest at heart. For someone to either tell you to go do that and or not say anything in terms of, man, don't go do that. They're not for you, man. They're not for you, man. They're helping you to write yourself off, man, to end your situation. You know, you're real public about your family, your daughter and all this. That is your objective, man. That's what you need to be speaking to, bro. Presenting something, man, to your daughter, man, so when she grows up, she can look back and she'll see all the goofy shit at first, but she'll see that transition, that growth, that maturity. That's what you're not allowing to take place, man. And that's going to present a problem for you, man. And or maybe anybody with you. Come on, man. And like I say, man, if you love yourself, if you love your baby, man, stop with this bullshit, bro. It ain't gonna end well, man. And if any of y'all love this cat, man, and anybody that act like him, I don't care where they from, man, holler at them, man. Man, speak truth to power to these brothers, man, and these sisters, man, so that they can live, man. So that they don't put themselves in a situation where bad news will beat them home, man. This is what we're trying to avoid. Come on, man, make it make sense, man. Make it make sense, man. You know, and I came into this thing thinking before that there was the issue on the east side with the young CRIP brother, man, and the essays and shit, man. You know, for whatever reason, man, we have lost our way, man. We're off cold. We don't defend each other, man. You know, we don't look to make sure that we're protected first. You know, we always want to appease others and do things to please others, man, while we put ourselves at jeopardy. That's bad work, man. No matter how you look at it, no matter who does it, what side, Crip, Blood, Hoover, gangster, whatever. It's bad work, man. And that shit will not end well. This is what you brothers got to see, man. This shit is rigged in such a way. I mean, this shit is off the chain, man. The shit we see going on now, every year is getting worse. Every year we see more brothers, you know, really just putting their lives out there, man, putting themselves at risk. For what? For what? Think about this, man. All the shit that didn't happen, let's say in the last year, where lives were lost. Those lives are gone, man. But look at it like this. Those individuals had anything with it, they're gone too. For the most part, trust that, man. Their shit is over too. It's a lose-lose, man. And what makes it bad is when we go into this shit knowing better, and yet we do it anyway. That's not a success, bro. That's you failing yourself. That's you failing your daughter. That's you failing your family, your community. For what? For what, man? None of it makes sense, bro. You know? So, you know, I just wanted to get past, you know, the surface of this shit, you know what I mean? And get to the core of the nitty gritty, man. There's something going on in our brothers' heads. I don't know if it's the old English, if it's what they putting in the marijuana now. I don't know. But I see, man, it got brothers off kilter. There's no balance. There's no equilibrium in how they carry themselves, man. There's no integrity. There's no principle. There's no morals. There's no sense of right and wrong. You know what I mean? That's a problem. Not just for that individual who's acting out, whose behavior is in question, but for the community at large. Again, it's a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose. Ain't no getting around that, man. You know? You know, ain't no getting around that. We see what's happening, man. And as a result of what's happening, because of what's happening, everybody's arguing about whether what he did was right, wrong, disrespectful to walk into, the Hoover territory doing what he was doing. I say, man, it was wrong when he started being disrespectful. Now, I say again, man, hey, man, if a brother, I don't give a damn where he from, he pull up, he see the homeless, those who are less fortunate, he jump out, he go, man, get you something to eat, man, there. He goes some food, he go do the shit and go. That's respect. He should be given respect. Because what he did is respectful. See, this is what we lack in our communities now. We don't look out for each other. We just don't. We don't look out no more for our own people than we do for other people. You know what I mean? So you can be from 5'5" and you go way over there, and do something for them homeless over there. Again, though, this is all, part of this game y'all playing. I'm pretty sure you got people in your community, in your hood, on your set, where, hey, man, they could have used them dollars too. And rather than just hand out dollars to give people, most of who are homeless, most of whom may be on drugs, hey, man, why not, there's something more you can do with them dollars, bro, that could really help these brothers and sisters. I'm just saying. So the act in and of itself, it became an issue, disrespectful, when he said what he said. Come on, man. I'm willing to wager, man, that just the fact that you jumped out right there and did what you did, jumped the car, that, hey, man, if you was looking for clout, if you're looking for clickbait, that was it. You had to say a damn word. You didn't have to say a damn word. And I'm willing to wager also that it wouldn't have been what we're hearing now. But you wanted to open your mouth, and that most of us know a lot of ignorance come out from between them two lips. You speak a lot of ignorance, bro. I don't know, again, if that's the old English, if that's the weed, or if that's you chasing the clout, or you got this thing that you want everybody to think, you this high-powered cat. You call yourself a general. I don't know how old you are. I don't think you're over 40. I really don't. And that's neither here nor there, bro. All right. But listen, man, that's not 99. Get away from that, because that's not the conversation. That's not the conversation, man. That I want to have tonight. Who you really are, what you, in terms of in street terms. A lot of people got their opinion about you, man. That's neither here nor there for me, But listen, dude, how you going about doing what you're doing, man? That shit is detrimental to you, to anyone around you, and to anyone who comes in contact with you. That's a lose-lose, bro. You have to do better, man. You sat up in the feds for a couple of years, man, and I swear I told a few people, I said, man, I hope that brother comes out with his head screwed on straight. Because sometimes it might just take 2 years, 3 years for cats to sit back and figure it out for real. And as soon as you got out, man, boom, the antics went up, and I saw, fuck. I wouldn't like to see you have to go do a life sentence, man. So by the time you're 60, they're going to let you go. After they ain't set your ass on the shelf, long enough for you to really get it before they let you out again, if it even comes to that. I don't wish that on nobody, man. And most brothers who had life sentences know exactly what I'm talking about. We don't wish that on nobody. Nobody. But here's what else I see, man. I don't know. I'm it's my opinion, all right? And respectfully, it's my opinion, I see a young brother, man, who did something, that he might consider real, and others, they might, oh, that's some real shit, That's what I see initially, you know what I mean? But outside of that, I saw a brother get out of a vehicle and feed some people, man, who were probably hungry, who are more than likely hungry and didn't have $1 in their pockets. I saw that brother get out, do that, and do that. That's what I saw initially. And initially I said, all right, I ain't got no problem with that. I ain't got no problem with that. And nobody should. Nobody should, You know, that was a good deed. That was a good thing. You know, it showed character. You know, it showed character, man. You know, that's the kind of thing that that should be like, you know, normal, you know, within all our communities, man. All you brothers who got it, you know what I mean? When you see our people in that situation, man, pull over, man. Hey, are you hungry? Did you eat today? Can I go buy you a pair of shoes, some bubble gums or something, you know, $20 pair of shoes, some slides or something? Can I get you a t-shirt? Because that one's filthy. Get you a pair of jeans, man. Go over to the Salvation Army somewhere, you know, and look out for you. That's being real, homie. That's the real shit that we know we missing. You know, that, you know, if it ain't sitting up, you know, again, man, talking about popping one another and doing stupid shit, it ain't real. If we're not talking about that, then it don't mean nothing, man. That's part of the problem. But what you did initially was some real shit, right? And again, man, you could have floated on that. You didn't have to say a damn word. You did not have to open your mouth and allow your ignorance to create a situation that didn't exist initially. And again, man, I don't know who manages you. I don't know who's in your ear. You know, man, your daddy, your mama, you know, respect for them saying that your woman with, hey, man, if people, you got to get some people around you that love you, man, that want to see you evolve, you know, grow, prosper, you know, and become the man that, you know, is needed in the community. You'd be a prime example for a whole lot of brothers. Just imagine that. You got your shit together. How many brothers would follow you then? I mean, for real, for real. You know, I don't know, man. But that's the kind of thing that would be normal in our communities if we seen that. That would be right now as it stands, that's an abnormality. We don't see that. You know what I mean? There's, you know, there ain't nothing we see every day. Ain't nothing we see every day, man, at all. You know, and I think that's part of the problem. We don't see enough of our brothers actually giving a damn about each other, about themselves first. See, because if you loved yourself, you gave a damn about yourself, you would have never done that in that respect, you in that disrespectful moment. If you loved who you are as a man, you know, but it's obvious. See, you don't think of yourself as a man first. You think of yourself as CRIP Mac, 5-5 neighborhood CRIP. You know, you putting the cart before a horse. You know, you backwards with that shit, bro. Let's keep it 100. And that go for the majority of you dudes who doing this shit. Ain't none of it, man, can be identified or attached to man shit men do to make sure they're good, they're straight, they're safe, they're growing, you know, or they're seen as these kind of guys, man, that, you know, can go anywhere, man, in any city, man, and represent themselves on a level where it be nothing but respect, no matter what community you come out of. That's what you lacking, man. Knowledge, man, understanding, the experience on being a man. That's what you lacking. So again, that's what most of us lack, you know. Most of us lack that. But hey, man, I'm just telling you, man, again, I don't know who around you, bro, but I'm telling you, whoever the hell it is, man, you might want to rethink your company you keeping, bro. Or the people who say they got your back, man, because that right there, man, that's a game changer. You know, that thing right there, that kind of stuff in lives, man. You know, for real, for real. You know, it's what you did initially. That's rare. Most of these cats who got platforms, they don't do that shit. These cats that get in the bag, you know what I mean? You know, you don't see that shit. You don't see that shit. You know, so that was rare in and of itself. That in and of itself carries weight. Shit like that on a daily, you can actually get the title OG if you go about it right and you stay the course, you know. But the shit you pull, the antics and all these shenanigans shit, that don't make you no OG, bro. And again, I don't think you old enough to even have that title. I don't think you've been through enough to even, be in that position, be calling yourself a general. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, man. You know, instead of you doing that the way I was describing and that being the story, man, you turned it into a flex, bro. That's what's bad about it, bro. See, again, the story, it was organic. You didn't have to add nothing to it. It was pure, homie. It was good. It was good all the way up until you wanted to flex now because you didn't see nobody around. You flexed. And that was so unnecessary of you, man. And again, it shows your character. It shows your character. You know? You turn feeding the homeless into like shit, a territorial stunt. You actually turned it into, negative content, bro. You did something positive, but your antics as a result, you turned something positive into negative, man. That's your character, homie. And that's the sickness we need to be talking about around here and on these platforms, these podcasts, these channels, man. What's wrong with us mentally, man? That we act this way, we behave this way. That's the conversation ain't being had, man. That we, for whatever reason, man, a lot of brothers avoid. If it ain't prison stories, who jacked to back in the day, that. And I'm telling y'all, man, for the most part, a lot of that shit's made up. A lot of it's made up, or it's either some individuals telling somebody else's story and you ain't got the ins and outs of it. It's just something you heard, sound good, tell the story. We got a whole lot of those platforms. We got a whole lot of them platforms where brothers is putting up stuff, conflict, dissension, division. That's it. That's it. And that's the sickness, man, I think, man, that we need to be talking about. Again, that we do not discuss. These podcasters don't have them type of discussions. It's just gang, 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 gang. Stupid shit, stupid shit, stupid shit. Laughing at people, man, recording while brother or sister's being assaulted by another race and shit like that, man. Got your phones out, your cameras out, woofing big shit while the police putting sticks to heads and shit, pushing sisters down, socking on them and shit. They get your phones out. That's crazy work, man. That's crazy work, man. And again, man, it's not that you for me, man, for me, I'm not speaking for nobody else. I'm speaking for Bub, man. And I'm just giving you my opinion on something, bro. I don't run you. I don't run nobody, man. Barely run my damn self. See, that's me acknowledging that I'm in a situation, man. I got very little control of my damn self. But I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm not taking out my frustrations on my brothers and sisters. I know who the enemy is to a great extent. You know what I'm saying? That's it, man. But you guys got to understand, man. It's that, again, man. You helping them people wasn't a bad thing, man. It was a good look. And again, if you would do that, man, more consistently, man, and leave out the bullshit, man. Can you imagine? Well, I don't think you can imagine. Try to imagine what you can attain from that. Come on, man. Just give it some thought, man. That didn't have to come attached with disrespect, bro. It just didn't. That was so unnecessary. It didn't have to come with disrespect, and it came with a caption. Look all over social media, got a caption, man, and they all feeding on it. So you created some content for the rest of the guys who just like you. And I say that unapologetically. Guys who are just like you. What you did is, you fit that space. Guys who are just like you. You get it. Here goes content, y'all. Like y'all in cahoots with this bullshit, man. And it shows because each and every one of them got it and ran with it. And some try to sprinkle it with a little dissatisfaction, a little disappointment, a little anger, some warning, this, that, and that. And man, fuck all that, man. Fuck all that, man. I think that's cap. That's cap, man. I haven't heard anybody say, hey, man, Crip Mac, man. Well, no, I take that back. ODM Slim. He said, man, that's bad business, man. Don't do that, And he said it in a way that was respectful and actually in a way that's like, hey, man, you tripping. My bro, you homie, hood, you tripping. That ain't how you do shit. Everybody are full of vitriol and hatred, revenge and retaliation. Get, threats and all that. Fuck all that, man. Some of our brothers need help, man, for real, because they got issues. They have issues. A lot of our brothers have issues, man. Straight up. And you one of them. You're one. Man, I don't know, man. You brothers got to get it together. I don't, again, I'm just thinking about how you initially jumped out and did what you did. That was a good look. And you just changed something good and pure into some bullshit. Some bullshit. Chasing clout, bro. Chasing clout. Clout became the point. You just totally washed over the fact that you was looking out for the unfortunate by what you did after. So you just erased all that, man, and you replaced that with just clout chasing, bro. This, for me, man, this isn't really about Hoover or, neighborhood and all this shit, man. What I mean? This is, it's bigger than that, bro. It's bigger than that. This is, for me, it's about a generation that's been like, taught that their measure is, or their worth is measured in views, bro. That's how I'm looking at this shit, That's how I'm looking at this shit. And that would also go, or I would also, apply that to a lot of channels and podcasts. Their worth is measured in, how many views they got. And that is measured by how big the bag is. It ain't in what it's like not in what they're actually putting to their community to give back to it. Being that the majority of them were part of the problem at whatever stage they was in the game banging. You know what I mean? Think about that shit. None of them are giving back nothing, man. It's as though, okay, they got in a certain age and it's okay, well, I'm going to continue to bring destruction, division, conflict to my community, just in a different way. I ain't pop, pure, but I got another way of doing this shit, keeping this shit going because I need the content. Sad shit, man. Sad shit. And that mindset, man, I'm telling you, it's going to get somebody killed, bro. It's going to get somebody killed, man. Over nothing. Over absolutely nothing, man. Over a caption, over a like, over 15 seconds of relevance, man. Over a street nobody owns, a corner nobody is invested in, over nothing. This is what we got, man. This is what's being fed to us. Again, man, social media could be actually a good thing, a positive thing, if we understood how to utilize it. But so much is going on that we're being guided, directed, indoctrinated with stupidity, man. So this is what we see on social media every day, multiple times a day, multiple times a day. This is all we seeing, man. And again, this shit is sad, bro. So again, I'm speaking to you, Crip Mac. I'm speaking to you, man. And respectfully. And then again, to every young brother, man, and or sister out there that who are thinking the way that you thinking right now. I'm telling you, homie, you wasting your time, bro. You're about to forfeit either your freedom or your life. And it ain't worth it. I'm telling you some real shit, man. I did a life sentence, you know what I mean? And I live with that mentality, man. The shit, I ain't escaped that shit. The fact that, man, I impacted so many people. One, two, I was gone, man, for so long, man. I missed so much, man. I missed finding out what my potential was because I was locked away. I missed the growth of a family, man. I missed the death of family members. There's a whole lot of shit. That's what you own right now, bro. Because see, at the rate you're going, pew, 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 or you're going to end up in somebody's cemetery because of what you're doing. I hope that makes sense to you. It's a lose-lose, bro. It's a lose-lose. I'm telling you that, man, for a reason. Like I said, I live that mentality, man, where reputation and territory and what people, thought of me, and whether or not that mattered, you know what I mean? All that, man, played a part in this shit. So I see it happening with you. I see it happening with a whole lot of people, honestly. Been there, done that, man. Live that life. Was trying to be harder than the hardest dude that was harder than me. Wasn't trying to necessarily follow in footsteps, but trying to create my own. For what? I ain't getting none out of that shit, man, but a life sentence. And I impacted other people. Though I was living in the system, did decades in there, my development was arrested. Okay, how many books I read, man? How many college courses I took? I was taken out of play, bro. I was taken off the field where I can do some good for the team. And I ain't just Hoover. It's my immediate family and everybody that was close to my family that we considered family. People from everywhere, man. Crips, Bloods, That's the truth, bro. Our family, we know some everybody from some everywhere. And we have relationships, man. We consider these people family. We got family, man, that know people, man. When we do shit, man, that is detrimental, not just to our future, to our lives and our future, man, we impact people who could very well depend on you to help them accomplish something, succeed, climb, become empowered. You know what I mean? That's the loss I'm trying to explain to you, bro. It ain't just you losing your freedom or your life. It's you impacting other people in such a way, man, you would never be able to comprehend. Because either, like say, you're in prison, locked away for a very long time, or dead. So those conversations that could really mean something, man, you're not going to have them, man. That advice you can give somebody, man, you're not going to be able to give them that, man. Because you're on somebody's shelf in a concrete cell, steel bed. Hey, man, I'm just trying to tell you some real shit, bro. Trying to tell you some real shit, man. So I was on that path. What people thought of me really mattered, man. Today I think back on it, I'm like, what the The hell was I on? That shit you on right now. That shit you on right now, man. That's what I was on. You know? Man, I watch people die, man, over less than what you doing, bro. People are no longer here over less than what you did, bro. I watch families bury sons, daughters, you know, over things that, like, you know, things that like 10 years removed, you know what I mean? That don't even make sense anymore. I've seen that shit, bro. Been pallbearer, man. I've been, come on, bro. The shit you own, bro, it's not gonna garner you what you think. And again, you know, I'm talking to you directly, Crip Mac, but I'm saying this to all the brothers, man, who helping push this nonsense, man. That shit will come back on you. You know, it will. That's just the way it works, man. But listen, man, none of that, you know, no follower count, no viral clip, you know. Oh my God, dude, this shit is crazy, man. No bag from a brand deal, you know, it's worth what you're jeopardizing, what you're risking. None of that shit is worth it, bro. I'm gonna tell you some real shit, realer than that. 5-5 neighborhood crip ain't even worth it. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. And in fact, I would put that to all you brothers and sisters out there. The set you claiming ain't worth it, bro. For real. I said this and I mean it, man. There ain't no retirement fund or pension in that shit. There's no medical. There's no vacation time. You know, no sick leave. You know what I mean? You don't get pay raises and shit. You don't even get a fucking check. Make that shit make sense, man. Make it make sense, man. A bullet does not care, Crip Mac. I'm telling you this, man, and I mean this shit so you can understand what I'm saying, man. A bullet doesn't care about how many views, man, or likes you had. You know, when somebody's standing over you and you bleeding out, homie. None of that shit matter, bro. None of that shit matter, bro. That shit is irrelevant. Or are you standing over somebody who is with you for these views, these likes, and all this shit, you know, you guys go and do, you know, just for that viral moment. But let's don't care about none of that shit, man. Not a little bit. You know? If you got something real in you, bro, and I'm telling you this, man, and you know, and clearly you do. You got to understand this, man. You got to understand your worth, man. What you're capable, what your potential is. If you, again, man, you had an organic moment that you sullied, man. You pulled up and you fed the homeless. You fed those who are less fortunate. All right. All right. That's something real in you. Man, you went back, like I said, man, and you soiled it. You know, you fucked it up. You know what I mean? But the fact is, you got something real in you. You got something real in you. So like I said, you went and fed them people. You had to do that, man. Now, you probably did it for, you know, this Crip Mac. I'm feeding the people. You know what I mean? People like seeing that shit. And I'm pretty sure it may be something that, you know, that sets well with you. You know? I think you do that because it's something that you're, you know, inside you saying, hey, man, go do this, man. You got it. Look out. All right? Think about it like that, man. You got that in you. But if you're more than willing, man, if you disregard all that, man, for this BS, man, you know, man, you're taking your soul, bro. You're wasting, man, whatever it is your creator, man, gave for you to do, you know, that whatever your creator possessed you with, man, you're wasting that shit. You're wasting that shit, man, for bullshit. For bullshit. But that good is in you. And I suggest you figure out a way to build on that, man. Do that now while you can. Do that shit now while you can, man. Build on that. And again, man, like I said, the way you did that, that's organic, man. Ain't nobody gonna be mad about that, man. You jump out, man, feed the homeless, man. Look out for the less fortunate. For the less fortunate, man, jump in your whip, man, your car getting going about your business. Stop somewhere else and do it, man. Hey, man, Crip, man, pulled up, man. He looked out. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, what he say? He say nothing, man. He just blessed the homeless man and the hungry. And he kept pushing. Build on that, man. That could very well keep you alive, bro. You know? Don't let the internet turn a good act, man, into, you know, just again, man, just a stunt. A stunt. Don't let that happen, bro. Again, man. You know, I don't, you know, I'm not God. I'm not your creator or nothing, man. And, you know, again, man, I'm just a brother with an opinion, man. But I'm willing to tell you this, man. You know, you know, man. I don't know how many chances fools get. You know, I can't even count how many I got. You know what I mean? I was foolish too. But for me, man, the cars were, all right, I'm going to remove you for decades. I ain't going to take your life. I'm just going to remove you. I don't know how many chances. I can't speak to that, bro. But you know. You know. The stunting days, man, should be over, man. You done been through enough, right? You know, you got to handle general. Generals are those individuals who, hey, man, they got a dossier, man, that, hey, it's bigger than a C-filer individual that been in the joint 40 years. You know what I mean? You know, your credentials, man, are impeccable. Quit playing with yourself, man. Build on what's good in you, bro. Give yourself a chance, man. Stop cutting your own self off at the knees, man, and stop putting people that you say you love in jeopardy. Don't do that shit, man. You should never do that to yourself, man, or those you love. Real spit, man. You know, I'm reading these comments, man, and they up in here, man, and we gonna tap in on them. Look, man, you know, just be the brother, man, who looks out for those who are less fortunate. You know, do your spiel, man, and you know how you get that. Yeah, you know, I would just suggest you leave that disrespect shit out, man. You know, be the Crip Mac, everybody get a laugh on, you know, and then you know at the same time say, hey man, I like that dude, man. Got a good heart. Be that dude, man. Build on that dude, man. That's where the real respect is, man. You being yourself in such a way, man, everybody can see, man, you love you. You love those around you, man. You respect you enough to do those things, man, that's not going to put you in jeopardy to anybody else. Be that person. Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. That ain't no busterism could be attached to that at all. Busterism, though, could be attached to a lot of bullshit we see cats do, like shit you did. That's buster shit. Let's be 100. Because if you really about it like that, it could have been 2-3 motherfuckers over there. I don't know about some cat in the car talking. I don't know, man. Might be busting shit on his part too, but you about it like that. You pulling up, hand out your shit. You know, you gonna turn around, do your spiel. That's some general shit, if you ask me. That's real shit. That real shit. Might not end well for you, but that's some real shit. You know, man. All right, man. I just, you know, RGC, I just want to hear from y'all on this shit, man. You know, and again, we're talking about some shit, man. And it is just not that incident. There's so many we can point to. We like, man, what the fuck is going on, man, with our people? You know? But RGC, I'd like to hear from y'all on this, man. You know, Is this thing, this clout thing really worth somebody's life, man? And again, man, this is a situation, the way it's presented, you're going to get two birds with one stone, maybe three. Depends who all in on the act. You know what I mean? You're going to get, I don't know, what the balance holds for anybody, but lives will be lost physically in both respects, physically gone, be it incarceration or in somebody's graveyard. You know what I mean? Somebody's cemetery. Either or, man. It's not a win-win, So I just wanted to ask the chat, man, is this, this thing like, is it really worth somebody's life, man? The shit we see brothers doing, is it really worth it, man? I don't think so. And shit also, are y'all seeing the same mindset in y'all's communities, y'all's neighborhoods, y'all's sets, y'all, areas? Is it the same? I'm willing to wager that it is, man. I don't think for a minute, man, this is just something that's, we could just put on CRIP map. You know what I'm saying? This is something we see often enough from some of everybody from some of everywhere, man. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat, man. Let me know what y'all think about that, man. I see y'all up in here, man. Appreciate you. Love and respect each and every one of you. Peace and prosperity, man, to the RGC, man. We are touching bases with the people. Let me say this now, man. Please like, share, follow, comment, and subscribe, man. You're not going to get this nowhere else, man. You're just not, And I say that like that because I'm not, I'm consistent. I'm consistent. I'm not straddling the fence, man, on nothing. Everything is above board. I'm not trying to create content, man, where other brothers can create that content and that content gets out there, it's filtered out there. And then we got our brothers and sisters formulating negative opinions about something somebody said, they snitched, they shot it, they da. Ain't none of that, man. So what I do, B60? Greetings, salutations to you, Bub, and the RGC B1A, man. Right back to you and the fam. Good to see you up in here, man. All right, D Mac Bowl, man, said, Bub, salute. Right back to you, man. Right back to you. And I send a shout out to all the H's, man. To all the C's and the B's and the G's. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. I don't got a problem doing that. Queen Nzinga's in the house. She said, hey, man, top of the week, my black people, peace and blessings of the Royal Family Congregation, or the Royal Group Congregation, excuse me. I trust we all had a great weekend. Black first. That's to get down, man. That's to get down. And again, look, man, that's the filter, y'all. It's the filter. Use that, man. Use that as the filter. And if black ain't coming out that thing first, man, hey, you ought to know what to do. You ought to know what to do, man. If it don't serve us as a people, individually as well as collectively, you ought to know what to do. Real spit. All right, Henry, I see you up in here, man. You say peace and blessings, brother Bub and family, man. Right back to you, man. Salute, peace and prosperity to you and your fam, bro. Good to see you up in here. Daily inspiration, you back? That's what's happening. Say hello from Texas, big bro. All right, man. Shout out, man, to Texas, man. Y'all know all parts. Love and respect for you brothers and sisters down there, man. And I like to continue to think that y'all not having no shenanigans down there, man. And if you got issues amongst one another, I've seen it. I've heard it said, you brothers tend to try to work that shit out, man, amicably. Beautiful. It's a good look. But that other shit comes from other sectors and quarters, man, I'm pretty sure y'all be on that shit. Stay on top of it. Stay on it. Don't give no quarter, man. No ground. Henry said, man, about a week ago, I saw a post saying C-Mac went to jail. It must have been fake news. Yeah, sometimes you gotta vet this shit. The thing about what he did, the whoever the sister was, supposedly from out of Pomona, that was some real shit. That wasn't AI and nothing else. He actually did that. And I also hear talk about the sister who recorded and where she's from and the response from them brothers out there in Pomona. I have no opinion about that because again, man, that's that type of rhetoric, man, that no good gonna come from it, bro. No good comes from it. So I'm gonna leave that alone, man. In any respect, though, yeah, that was some live footage, man. So that wasn't no fake news, that was not fake. Chris say, man, I would bet you money that little boy can't read. All right, man. All right. You said, man, I'll bet you money that little boy can't read. He'll see his name on a piece of paper and eat it. I'm not. I wouldn't doubt that too much. You know what I'm saying? For real. For real. I would like to one day, man, get them cute cars, man, and do like this brother does up in Florida, New York. And he tends to come to LA every once in a while and catch the nightlife, man, and say, hey, read this. And be recording, right? Yeah, man. This is all they know, man. And that's some sad work, man. And then it ain't just sad for them, man. If anybody that think that none of this affects them, you're wrong. You're wrong. I don't care how good you think you got it for you and yours. This shit affects us all. It affects each and every one of us, man, whether we acknowledge it or not. In some form or fashion, we're touched by this ignorance, man, this behavior, this shit we see going on, this what we see occurring amongst us against each other. Shit affects us, man. Real stuff. Fat Rat, what it do, loved one? I see you up in here. Say peace to you and the RGC Big Bub, man. Right back to you. Peace and prosperity, you and the fam, bro. And that goes out also, what I'm saying, to the tray. You already know the business, homie. Real spit. You say, man, who's on the chopping block? Yeah, it's the brother CRIP Mac, man. And, I think for good reason he should be on it, but not on it in such a way, man. See, I trust reform to an extent. I trust atonement, making amends, when it's appropriate. You know what I'm saying? I also trust, structure and discipline. When we have individuals, man, continue to carry on in such a way, again, that could be detrimental, not just to themselves, but others. Yeah, man, that, things like that need to be dealt with, and like I said, man, I grew up, and old head told me, man, you deal with things three ways. You address it verbally, physically, or you ignore it. And I tend to think that the last one is part of the reason or part of why we see what we see when it comes to the so-called YNs and their disrespect or lack of respect for elders, those who came before them, you know what I mean? Those who, they're in the present now, and when they were back in the past, the future was, whether it was good or bad, they're here because a lot of, the elders. But I just think that, man, when you don't address those things, man, that are consequential, for real, and I don't mean, because consequences ain't always got to be bad, but when they're consequential in a bad way or negatively, you are allowing for negative consequences, or you're allowing for negativity to occur and bad consequences to result as, as a reason for not addressing shit. There are two ways to deal with this. The third one should not exist in none of our communities, man. We should not be turning a blind eye, man, to none of this shit. We should not have blinders on. We should not have excuses. We just shouldn't. You know, we're going to verbalize something that's real, that's concrete. It's above board with our brothers and sisters, no matter what the age. And I think that's the first stage, to communicate. That's the problem we have, right? We don't know how to communicate with each other, man. There's no communication. And if it is, it's with selected individuals. It's not something that's available to everybody, and it should be. We got old heads talking like they scared of young heads. I mean that shit. I wish a young cat would think I'm scared of him. You know, and that's not a threat. But that would just be an opportunity for me to show him different. You know? But we got old brothers, and some are quite solid. And so I would retract just a bit and not say that they're scared, but just reluctant to deal with this issue, man, that we're all living in. And believe you me, we're living in it. And again, for those of you who say, I ain't got nothing to do with it, I'm so far with it, you got family. I guarantee you, somebody is in it. And that somebody you more than likely have love for would miss if something would befall them, you know? So yeah, man, conversation I think is key. And when that don't work, then you have that other objective, that other alternative. That's what I remember coming up in the house with one mother. Hey, man, there were consequences. And when communicating or me being late if that didn't reach home, if I didn't get it here, I got ass whooping, man. Not just from my mama, uncles, aunties, neighbors. I've been disciplined by the G homies back in the day for a couple of things, you know? Real shit. I thought that discipline was some bullshit, but hey, you know, I knew how to deal with shit if it ever occurred again, how to go about that thing right, you know. But my point is, there that was, you know. If the conversation, you know, is not doing the job, you know, and again, I'm not advocating nobody get hurt, but you know, discipline does not necessarily mean it's physical. Let's get that straight too, all right? Let's get that straight right now. So I don't want nobody saying, well, Under the Groove said, nah, man, I'm telling you right now, you know, discipline does not mean it is uniquely subjected to physical discipline, physical harm. No. No. No, it's not. There they go, man. When our G's, though, and others get involved in situations like this, man, I tell you, man, things do actually change, man. They evolve. They evolve, man. You know, when we neglect to see to the growth of our futures, you know, our kids who's coming up behind it, then yeah, things remain as they are, you know. The more they seem to change, the more they stay the same, you know. Arrested development becomes a thing of the day in everybody's community. And we don't even see the effects of that. We're so behind in a lot of respects that we don't even see the numbers continuing to dwindle, go down. We don't see it. That's how bad our focus is, man, on what's really happening in the world. But that is, man. Um, if we address shit and deal with shit like we supposed to, man, we'll see the changes. But we got to be invested in this, like most of individuals are in a job, being there on time, doing the work, man. Hey, sometimes doing overtime, burning that midnight oil, whatever the case may be. If we don't approach it in the same way, if we're not willing to uh, um, execute or put more effort and energy into not just ourselves, but those we say we love, and even our communities, can't expect nothing to change, man. Nothing to evolve. It's gonna stay as it is. In fact, well, it will continue to deteriorate. It will get worse. You know. But yeah, Crip Mac name is up in the get down, y'all. And again, like I say, man, is what he done worth it? Is that worth an individual's life, man? What would come on. Come on. Not only that, are there others just like him? you know, and not per se, not because we know he puts on the show. We know this, but not in that respect where they put on a show like that. But if you listen to the shit they say, it you be like, oh man, that's another Crip Mac. He just a little more polished. Think about it. Anyway, Chris say, man, that feeding the homeless stuff could just be a front. It could be his excuse to go over there, But again, like I said, man, even if that was the case, let's say they could have been going up Broadway. Don't hit Manchester. Turn on Fig. Let's go up in here, man. I'm jump out, boom, 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 and let's go. Just it could have been that simple, just as much as it could have been. Come on, man, let's do a stunt. Let's go over here, man, on Fig and Manchester, jump out, do what I do. People you see me feed the homeless, the less fortunate. Do that then and take that opportunity to disrespect the HOOVER'S. I know, yeah, it could have been a stunt, bro. But again, just had he kept his mouth shut. In fact, had he not even disrespected, do you realize, man, the impact of that? He pulled up on the set and he fed the homeless and he left. And he left. Just say that occurred rather than what we see went down. Granted, some dude like, oh man, he creeped up and he slipped in and slipped out. They be, but on the face of it, Crip Mac jumped out, man, he fed the homeless, less fortunate, and he left. Viral moment. That's not even disrespectful, technically. Think about that. I'm just saying. Yeah, so it could have just been a front, a stunt, But again, here's an individual, man, who, like most of us, don't really know our worth. Don't really know our potential. Don't really know what we can create and how what we create could be so beneficial, not just to ourselves, but to communities at large. A lot of us just unaware of that. Like I said, it could be the old English. It could be what's in the weed, It could be, low frequency, man. What's on YouTube? What's in the rap music? I don't know. But an opportunity was wasted. That's what I do know. An opportunity was wasted. Man. Stump down buffoonery, man. He made something that could have been, I'm telling you, to his benefit in a positive sense. But some are not gonna agree because I understand he jumped out on Fig and Manchester at a location where homies hang out at. Okay. Had he just jumped out, fed them people, man, y'all have a blessed day, man. He didn't have to disrespect. He didn't have to say 5-5. He had to say nothing. Did that and left. Come on. But the buffoonery came into play. Donald Davis, where you been, brother? Good to see you back. Say facts, bub, man. Crip Mac got to be stopped, big dog. Well, see, that's the thing, man. It would be so, it would be so appropriate, so much more appropriate if Crip Mac stopped himself. See, because that's another thing. Now, and I said, man, that three-way deal thing. Sometimes we got to get to our heads that some people don't want to change. They might see a benefit in it. Ergo, Crip Mac and his character, the buffoonery, to him, that's a benefit. Financial. You know what I mean? Because yet, the more he carries on, acts out, and with the buffoonery, the coonery, the more the check. The bigger the bag is represented on the check. The more he get. I get it. I don't condone it. I'm not with it. Like the fact it's done, but hey, he has to stop himself, because it's obvious those who are around him are not gonna do it. They're not gonna say, hey man, no, homie, that might get us killed. I don't see nobody in the parking lot. Hey man, but somebody might come out the store, man. Somebody might pull up on the other side of the parking lot as you got out. So those who are around him ain't trying to change nothing, man. They ain't trying to help this brother live. And shit, I can go one better. They're not even trying to see themselves living. Because you got to be a zip damn fool to want to hold the phone and record on some shit like this. Kind of dummy are you? Let's keep it real. Now, people don't stop themselves, man. Shit, they got to want to stop themselves, man. Like I say, man, we can push up on them. We can, put them in check, man. Put them in check. Hey, man, if they not ready to do that for them damn selves, we just, we wasting our words and our breath, man, and our energy. And that's the reality. That's the reality. Again, if people aren't willing to make amends, man, or atone, if they aren't, hey man, no one else can do that for them. I can't atone for you. You can't make amends for me. You know what I mean? So he got to want to stop his damn self. He got to want to be able, he got to see that, hey man, damn, I got away with that. Let me not do that again. And there's no guarantee cats are not upset to the point where, the hunt is on. You can run to the valley, hell, that wherever the hell you want to go. Somebody wants you, they want you. It's just like if somebody want to change something about themselves, that's on them to do that. I wish it was that simple, man. Like I say, I wish I can talk a whole lot of these knuckleheads into, hey man, stop this shit you doing. But the reality is they gotta want to stop, bro. I can just have a conversation with them for the most part, and hope that it registers, it clicks. That's the hope, man. You're going to say, Donald, man, you gonna know real when you see real, brother Bub. When you see real, brother Bub. Yeah, man. Again, that's just so. That was just so, I think, stupid. One of our people just said in RGC, man, the brother probably can't even read his own name. That right there, just stupidity, man. That's just stupid. That's not even ignorant. Look, come on, ignorant, not knowing. He know, but he was just stupid enough to do that shit. Damn fool. Oh, so with a cold straw, what it do, loved one? You say, man, C-Mac owns the Hoover community and apology. I've known groovers to slide for less. I'm saying, I for a fact. for way less. For way less. For just passing through, not stopping. You know. And again, see, this mindset. So you say, yeah, man, he owes the Hoovers an apology. That's like saying the Mexicans need to apologize to blacks for using the N-word, calling them monkeys and mayetes and shit. That ain't gonna happen. And I think that's self-explanatory. That's self-explanatory. That's not gonna happen. And again, like I say, man, until CRIP Mac is ready, man, to do better for himself, come on. That ain't gonna happen. That's wishful thinking. That I mean, in a perfect world, in a normal world, like, hey man, it would be, the young brother had to apologize to some Mexicans for calling them sewer rats, and Mexicans don't apologize to brothers, y'all. You know what I mean? That's some cold shit. That's some cold shit, Now we're saying, okay, C-Mac need to go and apologize to the Hoovers for that disrespect. What's cold about that is C-Mac not going to do that. But I guarantee you, he'll apologize to a Mexican who might feel slighted, disrespected, or felt that a certain word was a slur. And hey, man, that's the cold part, bro. That's what's cold about this shit. That's what pisses me off. Because I know that's what they do. And tell a brother, quick, man, fuck you. I ain't apologizing shit. When the message be like, hey, oh man, my bad, man. I apologize. Bust the shit, man. Straight up. Donald Davis said, man, when and if CRIP Mac wake up and see what he is doing wrong, he will be better off. And again, I'm just saying, man, I don't, yeah, man, right? Yeah. What does that window look like, though? Shit get worse every day out here. What does that window look like? And just like the Mexicans, a brother might apologize and they on the face, yeah, all right, cool, we'll take apology. Turn around and say now, but he need a DP too, right? So CRIP Mac ain't finna do that. He's not gonna apologize, one, and two, if he did, there's that DP. See, brothers, we won't apologize to each other. We won't admit fault, wrongs, and shit. Because for the most part, a lot of us men are principled. We don't have a code. Look at what's going on with our brothers, our young brothers, any brother, right? Matter of fact, nowadays, man, cats get caught up, man, and start talking about shit they had nothing to do with. There's no code, no principles in place, no integrity. And then dudes want to wonder why, you get these other ethnicities and demographics want to use the hard ER on us and disrespect us because they see how we carry it on. Ain't no respect for that, man. They don't apologize to motherfuckers and they getting down like that. I'm just, that's that mindset. I'm like them with a lot of respect. I ain't apologizing no Mexican for nothing. Straight up. Straight up. I wouldn't even think that I would have to for any motherfucking thing. I think like they think. Give a fuck if I was wrong. And I'm not making nan brother or even go and communicate to a brother that he need to apologize to anybody other than ourselves first, man. Forgive himself, man, and ask forgiveness from the brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? I don't give a damn. It's just what it is. I would never do that. For what he did. I'm thinking like they think. You keep 100. You treat those how they treat you, man. You know? You give passes to those that look like you, but you don't give no passes a quarter to nobody that, no, man. That ain't how that's played. That ain't how that go. You want to talk about integrity, principles, morals, and shit like that, man. That shit starts at home first. I would never practice any of that with another before I do myself and my people. That's just a no-no. That makes no sense. And because we don't know no better, this is what we get. This is what we get. Trust that. Know that. All right, what it do, boss? Clout up in the house, y'all. Good to see you, bro. Said peace to the chat, man. Big Bubs, man. What's up with it, Keith? All love and respect, homie. May everything be everything on that end, man. I send my man peace and prosperity to you and the family, bro. You know, and the academy, man. I'd like to think that everything is going well and you staying on top of that thing, man. Do that. All love and respect, bro. I am A. Say, man, peace to all family, man. Hope all is well with y'all. Texas in here. Texas in the mix here, too, man. Texas in the house tonight, man. Appreciate you, IMH. Good to see you, bro. You're going to say, man, we just had a guy busing at K. We just had a guy busing a K at random cars out here in the H on the bedside. That is the bedside, okay. Yeah, man, that's what it is, man. You know, I mean, they jumping out, man. There's a whole lot going on, man. You know, I didn't got so wrapped up in this shit. I got some clips, man, and they pertain to most of what we talking about or most of what we've talked about. There's something going on, and I'm telling y'all that we are not paying attention to, and that shit's gonna slap us across our face, man. Watch. See, because we busy slapping each other across the damn face that we don't see people sidling up on us, and they got that hand cocked back, and they finna slap the shit out of us, man. We ain't even gonna be able to deflect it, dodge it, or nothing, because we letting them get too close. We ain't paying attention to nothing. That's how close this slap is, man. And get together, man. I may say, man, in Settergas, Trinity Gardens, man, people out losing they shit, full of that shit. Yeah, man. The world is changing, man. It's going down, y'all. It's going down, you know. You say, what happened with Crip Mac, man? Crip Mac out here being Crip Mac. I used to when I was in the joint, man. I was a rec clerk, so I ran all sports equipment, the food sales, and all that shit. Right, I had this on lock. Right, boom. But I was sitting in the gym, me and a couple of loved ones, man. What's up? Send shout out to my boy, Young Sad Man, Railhead, Spider, little football. You know what I mean? even little Eddie boy, man. We sit in the gym and watch what we call the circus. See, so before I paroled, shit was changing drastically. It was changing right before our eyes. The so-called YNs getting out of control. They were on everything that was available. You know what I mean? Just they had no stop. You know, it was all gas, and you could see them a mile away. You know, you could see the crash about to happen a mile away. But we would sit back, man, in the gym. It was open gym, and watch the circus, man. Just watch the circus. Crip Mac reminds me of that, you know, but I stopped watching the circus even then there. Before I got out, I stopped watching, you know. So out here, I'd stop watching Crip Mac, in his circus, and all the other clowns that, prop him up, you know, that jump out the little bitty VW, Volkswagen with him, they have the big shoes on and stupid looks on their faces, man, talking a bunch of yin yang, I stopped watching that shit, man. It's no good in it. No good gonna come from it, man. But yeah, Crip Mac is, the conversation, bro. Sad to say, because I do recall saying, it's certain things I've let go of. I don't talk about it anymore because, like I say, it's work. It's a waste of our time. But then when it becomes this thing, like I said, when it becomes a threat to not just the buffoonery and the buffoons, the clowns, the raccoons, the coonery, and all that shit, man, it becomes a threat to each and every, to all of us. Then it becomes, all right, damn. Now we got to pay attention because there's no telling what comes from this. How does this inspire people or motivate them? I don't know. It's not good. But yeah, Crip Mac is the topic. Crip Mac is the topic. Keith Clout said, man, young fella got to go through it until he wakes up. That's what we say. You got to go through something to get to something. And I said this, though, before he went and done that 2 years in the feds, I was telling somebody as he was waiting on that chain to go, I said, man, you know what? 2 things could happen, man. That brother can go in there, man, and figure it out. Well, honestly, I said 3 things, and 2 of which didn't happen. The brother gonna go in there and somebody gonna get hold of his ass for all the buffoonery, or he's gonna go in there and see the light. And the third one, you go in there, man, and for a lot of dudes, 2 years, 3 years ain't enough time change nobody, their mindset. All they keep thinking about is, okay, I got a date in 2 years. I'm getting ready, So it turned out he went in, didn't get nothing out of it, man, came out same way. First day out. Somebody sent me the clip, walk out the county jail front door. Greeting the Mexicans like they the homies and shit. You know what I mean? I peeped the whole get down. But yeah, man. Sometimes you got to go through something to get to something. And I'm saying, man, damn. In some instances, man, what you go through might not be no get back. You may not bounce back from that. Again, the antics alone puts him in a bad situation to where it becomes, pew, 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 or somebody's cemetery. So I don't know how that would serve him. You'd think the boy done been through enough. He calls himself a general. Generals are those individuals, and hey man, them are warriors. Them been through some shit, and they get it. I beg to differ. So I don't know. I'm just saying. Yeah, that's the saying though, cause you got to go through something to get to something. I can speak for me. It happened to me. It happened to me. And I ain't gonna never get none of that time back. But I got it, and here I am. I figured it out. It took a long time, but here I am, man. How fortunate I am. The tweak is here in the house, man. Ain't that something? Say Under the Groove Podcast. Peace and blessings to you and the community. Right back to you, bro. Good to see you back amongst us, man. Always a pleasure to see loved ones tapping in, man. Where you been, man? You good? Is everything? All right, man. All right. Good to see you, man. Poke Mitchell, man. Poke said, man, what it do, bub? I'm here today on the best live UTG. Miss y'all, and what up to the RGC? Same here, man. My sentiments exactly. The best live, y'all. And I'm with the RGC, man, and others, man. All love and respect to each and every one of y'all, man. Appreciate you coming in. And again, this is Under the Groove Podcast, y'all. Like and share this, get down, all right? Like and share this, get down right quick. I may say, yeah, that key word, discipline. Yeah. Yeah, man, that structure. Lacking, man. Fat Rat said, man. Here you go, man. All right, Fat Rat said, I'm not sure that requisite, excuse me, I'm not sure that the requisite teachability index is developed in the younger. Boom. Oh, See, when something good comes, I'll be like, I want to stop immediately. Let me focus, man. I'm not sure the requisite teachability index is developed in the young brother. If your wife or your life can't teach you a knife, can't teach you, a knife might teach you. Okay. I'm gonna read that again because I kind of butchered it, but I get it. I'm not sure the requisite teachability index is developed in the young brother. If your wife or your life can't teach you, a knife might teach you. I would have said on the end of that, a knife might reach you. But yeah, I just, but real spit right there, Fat Rat, man. If your wife, all right, or your life, man, them two the best teachers right there, you know, and both actually have something to do with observation because she on your neck, she observing everything you say, do, and think, shit, and that's life, man. When you're in it, you want to observe, you want to learn shit on your own accord sometime. Another thing I was taught a long time ago, it was said to me that um, observation is one's best teacher. I find some validity in that, man, because I've been able to pick up a whole lot of stuff without having to go through it. You know, observe it, learn it. You know, or when the time came to apply it, it worked. So yeah, man. Old Soul said, man, if the groove continued to ignore CMAC behavior, it would breed copycat. You get another Chad the Builder, you know. You get another Chud the Builder. But you know, and again, I don't want to advocate for that type of outcome, bro. I'm gonna be 100, man. Because um I don't know if there's a mental deficiency going on here or not. You know what I mean? I don't think so, honestly. I think it's all a gimmick. You know, someone said today, I read a comment. They said, man, it's the fact that he still wants to be a Hoover, you know. And, you know, again, I don't advocate, you know, gang activity or joining gangs either, you know. I think that, man, if we continue to ignore CMAC and those like him, man, we're gonna get a whole lot of copycats, man, who will be geared or acting out towards a whole lot of other shit, man. It ain't just CMAC that's being ignored, you know. You know what I mean? Like it's, you know, Chud the Builder, you know, whether those brothers and sisters were gang affiliated or not, a lot of them permitted that shit. And they got Chad to go viral. And as a result, like sick copycats. If we as a people aren't willing to deal with those things that ail us that we know to be messed up, wrong, or could cause us harm, then we fail. We fail to prevent copycats from coming into play. That'd be on us. That wouldn't just be on Hoover's, man. See, because with that, man, come again, man, there's so much attached to this shit, man. There's so much attached to this. See, CRIP Mac can do this shit and go run and hide. Then what? Then what? Is it being advocated that then the Hoovers go and pay a visit over there? No, man. Is it that they say where he from, hey man, they're not gonna do that either. Most of these dudes, I don't care where they from, man, on that sideways shit, man. That's just a fact. So when we're talking about, or when the discussion is, man, we have an obligation. Whether a lot of us want to acknowledge that shit or not, man, it actually exists in each and every one of us. We have an obligation, a responsibility to make sure our community thrives, man, and it's not deprived, man, of positivity, of growth, of evolving, empowerment. That's on all of us. I'm not passing the buck for Hoovers, especially those who are claiming, you know what I mean? And I don't mean to say that like they some marks or something, you know what I mean? I don't want to do that either. But here's the thing, man. When we have a situation that we have with these cats and their game banging, whatever they want to call it, claiming shit and all that, and there's no real meat in it, man. None of them dudes own nothing around none of that, man. That strip mall that he pulled up in, nobody owned none of that shit. You know, there's no real vested interest in taking care of your community, man, defending it and all that shit that matter. You know, for real, man, these dudes don't understand none of that shit. They ain't got shit. Most of them probably don't want shit other than to have an eighth of weed every morning, or drink some pills, man, and a little money to floss with. No real ambition, man, or goals. A lot of them even think in terms of their future. We don't put that as a responsibility to cats that don't even represent the shit right in the first place. It's just a matter of claiming, and it ain't just them. It's all of them. It's all of them, man. Again, I don't care if you Crip, Blood, Hoover, gangster. That's the mentality. None of them own jack squat that they claiming. That's why it's only a matter of claiming. It's not ownership, bro. It's not the real representation of ownership in any of these communities. These guys don't really give a flying flick about none of these streets that they claim. And not just because of rival games, man, but you got other demographics coming in there, man, other gangs from different ethnicities coming over, writing on your shit, crossing out. Yeah, man, this shit, it's all bullshit. That's what I'm saying. It got to be on us as a people, man, to get us right. To get us right, man. That's just the reality. Now we can sit there and say, man, okay, the Hoovers then drop the ball or whatever. Be that as it may. They the only ones? I think not. But that's not, I think, something we should be talking about in terms of, okay, this becomes a real game thing, homie. When the conversation should be anything and everything but that. That's where I think the responsibility or the obligation lies, man. Making this something other than some old gang rivalry shit, man. Over some shit, a parking lot nobody owns. Some Jewish person owned that lot right there, or Arab, or Indian, or Russian. They don't. Crip Mac can't go on 55th, man, or wherever that is they hang out at, and you lay claim to nothing. He can claim it. He can't lay ownership to none of it. And again, that goes for any of these sets, man. Excuse me. Any of them. That's the reality, bro. So what are they going to defend? Honor? Can't be that. Can't be that. What do they represent? Loyalty? Can't be that. Can't be that either, bro. Respect? Can't be that either, bro. What are they defending? You know? And again, that go for any of them, bro. That go for any of them. And I'm talking in the respect or in the sense, man, it's, some of you brothers in here know what I'm talking about. We done this shit. I'm fortunate enough, man, to be here right now and able to look back and say, what the fuck did I do? What was I thinking? Then on flying flick of nothing over there, man. And was ready to die for it and kill for it. Then on shit. Claiming the street I own absolutely nothing on. I'm just saying, man. So it shouldn't be about that. You know, it shouldn't be about, okay, well, the Hoovers, you know. So what we promoting? What are we advocating? That's the problem. We quick to do that. And I say this respectfully in terms of how we handle shit. You know? And then we get to worrying about copycats. No, see, we worrying about the wrong shit then, if you ask me. We want to worry about this type of shit, man. I'm gonna tell you who the real culprit is. But again, you know, when we say this shit, it go in one ear and out the other. Our brothers are subjected to social media. You know, now they have a responsibility, man, to own up to their actions. No right from wrong, shit like that, no doubt about it. But a lot of these cats, man, again, they're not grounded, man. You know, in principle, they don't have codes, man. That's worth any damn thing. You know what I mean? These cats are spur of the moment, man. However they think it up is how that's gonna go. And the way they do shit, you already know they're not thinking. You know, it's more than the homies continuing to ignore CRIP Mac. Really, man, it's about what are the communities saying and doing about CRIP Mac. Again, we already know 5-5 don't give a fuck. They with that. The buffoon, they, you know, come on, man. They not losing no sleep. All the neighborhood cars are like, yeah. You know, and CRIP Mac end up pew pew pew. Like, oh man, fuck that, yeah. Where's the win at? You know? I'm just saying, man, that's how real this shit is. We aren't willing to be responsible enough like that. To where we say, man, look, man, you know, there are different ways of dealing with shit. We're not even at that stage. That's some bad business, bro. You know? And if I was still in that life, game banging, I'd be like, hey, man, you know, we did shit different. And I'm not going to glorify what that was, but I'm just saying, you know, we dealing with some shit, man, that's just out of control, period, point blank, man. There's no structure. There's nothing in this shit, man. And this is why I say gang banging need to die so brothers can live. See, because CRIP Mac trying to gang bang gonna get him killed or somebody else. Where's the win in that? I'm just saying, man. Keith Clark said, man, bro, even though I live in another country, I still share good words of encouragement with my community. It's necessary. You're part of it, you know, and we want to see what's best for our community. We want to see it empowered. We want to see it flourish. You know what I mean? We want to see a future for those who are growing up over there, man. I agree with you wholeheartedly about that, though, Klaus. That's the truth, bro. You know, that's the truth. Fat Rat said, man, the enemy is always working. Who chose Mac for popularity as a mascot? for something so serious. Oxymoron. So serious. Yeah, who chose him? All right. Who chose him? And for real, man, who of you in your right mind would have this dude? Y'all, man, y'all know what it is, man. I'm getting thirsty up here, man, thinking about this shit, man. I done drank all my water up, man. This shit, this type, yeah, make your mouth dry, man. It's so infuriating. You know? Who chose him as the mascot? And what fool would let him be their general? I'm just asking a question. You know? What is social media for real, man? For real, what is it? It's going to be either a detriment to us, man, or it's going to be something that improves our lives, man. So far, we know what it is. You know, those of us here on the bottom, you know, we know what it is. No mistake about that. He's just one of many, though, that is chosen as a mascot or a mouthpiece. Come on, use your heads right now. Name me 5 others. You got to put it in the chat. You can say it to yourself. Them CRIP Max just, you know, tweaked here and there. Truth to power, man. Truth to power. Who chose him, man? You don't know, you sleep. Folks, sending a shout out to Keith Clout, man. It's always a good look, man, to reach out to our brother Clout, man. All right. Yeah. Clout say you on the grind for those kids, man. And that's what we see most of, Keith Clout. The disrespect canceling out you know, good acts. You know, like I said, man. Now, whether when he first pulled up was a stunt or a front, on the face of it, right? All good. Feed the hungry, help the less fortunate, jump back in the group. Hey, man, I'm just looking out, man. I saw this brother, you know, I talk, brother and sister over here, they look like they was hungry. I looked out for them, man. You know, and hey, man, help more of our brothers and sisters in the streets, man. Get in his car and leave. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Leave the disrespect out of it. But because he wanted to open his mouth to let his ignorance show, no, again, not ignorance, stupidity, he made what was actually a good look on the face initially. He made actually what was a good look initially into a bad thing, man. And this is how we sabotage ourselves. This is how we get out, man. This is how we do ourselves. You know? And again, if you do yourself, then you have no consideration, you know, to look out for me. So whoever the sister is, he was able to talk her into doing, you know, again, the what if. One of them, 2 of them, with the business came out, pulled up or whatever, and saw him. Come on, man. Stupid shit, man. Not ignorant, but stupid. Keep God saying and agreed. An opportunity was wasted for show. We want to talk about a viral moment, right? Think about that. See, this how messed up they are about what the platform can really do for you. This how messed up they are. Because they all of them, the majority of them, that's what they own. That viral moment that's attached to something negative, never something positive. Nah. Always got to be tainted with something negative, even if it's positive a little bit. You know what I'm saying? All those brothers, man. And again, y'all named 5 of them. All of them. That's all they do. That's all they do, man. And that is detrimental. They don't take advantage of this situation, man. This platform, this apparatus, this is something you can actually build on, you know, build with the people. You know what I mean? But no, they rather continue to tear us down with bullshit. Bad business, man. It's crazy work. That's crazy work. If you got these brothers, man, they willing to keep negatively flowing rather than positively going amongst us, that's bad work. It's bad. Crazy work, man. Real spit. Opportunity wasted, Keith Close. You never lied. Yeah, man. Fat Rat, send me your link, man, to your get down, bro. I want to check it out for sure, for sure. And I apologize for not even having it, shit. Fat Rat Love. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. I think that's the name of it. Oh Soul, man, said, man, I guarantee he watched the shopping center traffic from Popeyes across the street while eating a bucket of chicken. Well, I'm adding that. We're eating a box of chicken, right? But yeah, and knew it was good time to record. Yeah, there's that. But at the same time, like, and this is how fate is sometimes. Shit happen like that. You could be there doing that, checking that out. And again, you don't know how shit work, man. Fate and karma's a mug. You get out and do your little thing, you spend there, boom, pull up in the parking lot. Just so happen, not looking for you, just pull up in there. Oh, yeah, you could do all that, man. But that's why I'm saying it was stupid. No matter how you look at it, he could have been across the street, man, for an hour waiting. Somebody could have actually been there. Somebody said it was super early in the morning. That may be true also. All right. Yeah, but in any respect, it was just stupid, man. The dumbest shit he could do. Good point, though, Soul. Oh, Soul, good point. Man, Clout is a hell of a drug, huh, Chris? Yeah. Hey, Claus, that was probably the female saying, now hold up those Crip Mac. Don't just, let's case the place first. I can hear that because she's probably acting scared as hell. They both probably scared as mug, man. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there because again, they both know better, man. That was just the stupidest thing, man. But I could see the sister or somebody, I don't know, probably had more than one person, but I don't know. Say, man, just hold on, no, let's say, no, man. No. Clout junkies, man. Clout junkies. Man. Claus said, man, as much as we may want to see changes, we also have to remember that everyone is entitled to have their own experiences. There you go. There you go. All right, good to see you up in here. Little Travis from Acres Home. He said, Keith, what's up, G? All right. Claus said, man, no code or ethics at all, and it's sad. I may say, man, he need to get touched by Jap again, LOL, allegedly, Well, he admits that as much, he admits that. He admits that, Yeah, man. Touched up. Yeah. Chris said, man, are you saying Crip Mac is pulling up in oversized clown shoes? I'm hearing he's not really black. He's an islander. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know, brother. I don't know. Folks say, man, fame sometimes comes with a cost. Fake friends, safety risk, and mental health struggles because everyone is watching they moves. Yeah. Claus said, facts, Poke. I learned that the hard way several times. Yeah, man. And people will latch on. Like I said, though, there was obviously nobody in that vehicle with him that really gave a damn about him, let alone themselves. Think about that. And that's the only time that occurs with any of us when we go do stupid shit. We're not thinking about our well-being, man, our safety. You know, we're not thinking about who we got with us. They're not thinking about their well-being and safety. They're not thinking a damn about me. That's some crazy shit. So when you got these type of people around you, hey man, you got to know that that's not a good look for you or them. You know, conversely, you know, not good look. Folks said, man, Big Claw's fame can be a good thing if you use it right. Like with what you do when giving the kids your valuable time. Real spit, man. And he gave you 3 salutes. Young Claus. Fat Rat said the fraternal order. That's who put him in that place. That's who decided he would be a mascot. He would be a great man. He was very ignorant and dumb. Yeah, you can hear the discussion, man. Yeah, I don't know if it actually went like that, but I imagine a discussion, a conversation could have actually went like that, you know. Because I think too that they could go in to any of these platforms and encode them, retweak them, tweak them to do whatever they suggest. You know, I'm just saying that's what I think. Yeah, Claude say, man, it's crazy, Poe, because I was on the same BS. Grace is the only reason why I'm still here and doing what I do. Grace and a praying mother. There you go, bro. There you go. Poe said, man, Claus to me and I appreciate it from you. Stand on grace. How else are we to believe how some of us are able to get right? Thank you for saying that, big bro. Claus said, man, I'm grateful, Poe. There you go. IMA said, man, social media is a trap to get your vibrations low, as well as the music, right? Your emotions trigger to create self-hatred, which will be projected outwardly towards the world for growth in chaos and destructive distractions, on top of creating out of control egos. All right. So folks say, man, what's the end game, family? And I say that to all because the end game relate to us all black people, our culture here in LA. And that's what I was saying. Okay, yeah, what is it? And again, just based on what I was told back in the day, there were 3 ways to deal with shit. And I'm telling y'all, one of them is not an option to continue to ignore. You know, again, it was to verbally confront it in a real way, physically confront it, or ignore it. The third one is not an option. We've done that, and look at the result. That's the end result of that, if you ask me. The end game is to take the approaches need to be took. Like I say, man, when I run into young ones, I talk to them, and I want them to know, hey, man, I'm not above. Don't call me OG nothing. I ain't nobody's OG. You know, and I've told the homies, man, hey, man, I'm above, homie. You know, I know G's when I see them. And if they okay with it, that's how I address them. You know what I mean? I understand this shit, you know, in that respect, you know. And a lot of G's don't like that. You know, and tell you, no, my name is woo woo woo. Don't go. I respect that. You know, that says a lot about a person. I'm all right with that. You know, so but when we see these youngsters, hey man, ain't no sense in any of us putting ourselves on a pedestal, you know, and call ourselves looking down on them while we talk to them. That shit is not helpful. You know, and in fact, we shouldn't be doing the talking. Let's listen a little bit. Let's allow them 2 ears to get something, pick up something, you know. That's what's up with that, you know. That's what I say to that anyway. But yeah, man, conversation, you know, in a perfect world would be the end all to be all. You know what I mean? That's all it would take. But those other 2 I spoke of are essential, I think, in getting to where we need to be. Just my take on it. And again, I don't advocate the other one like that because I don't necessarily trust, believe, or think that physical violence is, the approach. DPs or being disciplined has a lot more to do with other than somebody putting their hands on somebody else, man. There's a lot of ways to approach shit, man, but because we're always angry and aggressive, it's the first thing we fall back on, or we go to. So I'm not advocating that at all either. All right. So anyway, Poke was saying, man, what's the end game, family? And I say that to all because the end game relate to us all black people, our culture here in LA. All right. Fat Rat say, man, the more they popularize him, the more they devalue what we gave our lives to, and the less we are to be taken serious. Yeah. Gaines took fear out of our city. Damn. Gaines took fear out of our city. We can't forget our racial challenges in 1969. There you go. A lot of people don't understand that, though, Fat Rat. They really don't, All right, James, good to see you up in here, brother. Shout out, man, to the CPT, man. To Compton as much as Bompton, man. To the Crips and the Bloods, man. All love and respect to each and every one of y'all, man. James say, man, ain't nobody gonna waste time with no buster like Custer Mac. And there's many weirdo suckers like him online out there in the streets. Shameful and disgraceful. I never respected these marks ever. You going to say, James? You going to say quite a bit. Hold on. You going to say 2 years ago or so, when I first seen a clip of C-Mac dude, I knew he was foul. Just like first time I seen a few seconds of Charleston Buster White talking. Same type of bird. First impressions. Remember, though, I always say the morons and idiots watching these characters and following them thinking it's funny or just as bad, if not worse. Fueling the stupidity with more ignorance and trash. The players are a bunch of marks. The audience are pieces of shit too. Man, there's not a lot of foul people out here. No, it's a lot of foul people out here. You never lied, man. And like you, when I first saw C-Mac, I said, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I said, I can't see him. I can't go somewhere and he there. And that was my first thought. And I mean that shit. I said, oh, if I see him, hey, he guaranteed to get one. And I hope somebody's filming, And as time progressed, I said, yeah. I started thinking, Duke got some issues. Duke got some, issues psychologically, And I don't know if that's the case, but what I do know, some of the shit I've heard him say, especially around females and shit, was supposed to be his woman or it's around his women. Okay, yeah, you ain't playing with the whole deck, bro. Just you get down. How I see him act around certain cats. That was another indication. Okay, yeah, you ain't, you're not that cat. You know what I mean? Not even if you around people who got more credibility or a greater reputation to you, don't mean that you become a sucker or or you kowtow. You pay so much reverence that it's like you're a sycophant. You sucking up to somebody. You know what I mean? I don't respect that type of shit. I hate that type of shit. But that's something I saw, and it was at that point I said, yeah, you know that. And but again, there's a whole lot like him. A whole lot of them are just like him. They put on airs. That's the right word for it too. They put on airs, man. And you see that bravado, and that's only there because I think how special they think they've become because of social media. A lot of them got ties with the police. A whole lot of shit, you know. But again, in any respect, ain't none of it helpful to us as a people, as a community. Not a bit of it, you know. I've seen Henry say, Brother Bub, have you ever seen Crip Mac father and mother interviews on the internet in the past? I've seen the interview where I think it was his dad, man, and I couldn't even watch the whole thing. I stopped watching it, bro. I think one with his mom, kind of, and I stopped watching that too. If I remember correctly, yeah. They were separate, you know. You know. What I do know is, man, I can't speak in terms of what my daddy would have did or how to act. You know what I mean? My mama wouldn't have been with none of that shit. Straight up. My family wouldn't have been down with none of this shit. You know, I mean, but see, I would be down with it because it's such an embarrassment. You know what I mean? There's no dignity there, man. No self-respect. I would never go out like that, bro. But yeah, I did watch one of his dad, and I was like, oh man, shit. It's almost like the apple didn't fall far from the tree, as the saying goes. All right, y'all, I got to get ready to cut, man. Real spit, man. I enjoyed being back tonight. And man, for each and every one of y'all that came in my first night back in about 3 days, you know, I appreciate you. Just know that. I appreciate our people, man, more than they know. I'm going to reserve the clips I got for tomorrow, and they speak to us. You know, I try to get them clips, man, that talk about the get down, man, with us, man, and what it is people are after that have to do with us, you know, and why we see a lot of what we see in our communities happening. All this shit, man, is what they call it's intertwined, you know. It's all connected, man. Whether y'all want to believe that shit or not, man, this shit connected, man. And they trying to get us. They are trying to get us. All right, on that note, man, I'm gonna cut out, man. It's all love and respect, man. Just let me put it to you like that, man. Love and respect, man. You know, that's it. And we got to have it for self so we can have for anybody else, man. If the Crip Macs of the world don't love and respect themselves, they ain't going to have for nobody else, man. And therein lies the problem. All right? Therein lies the problem. Let me hit y'all off with this, man, because I kind of like this get down, man.
The babies need us now. Wake up, black people. The mothers need us now. Protect our women, protect our children, protect our elders. Let's rebuild our village. Wake up, black people. Wake up, black people. To the young brothers carrying anger inside, I understand the pain, but don't let it decide who you become or who you leave behind. Don't trade your whole future for one reckless night. To the young sisters chasing money at any cost, don't help destroy the same community we've lost. A setup for a robbery ain't worth a human soul. One decision can create damage nobody controls. To the elders, we need your guidance. To the teachers, we need your knowledge. To the fathers, we need your presence. To the mothers, we need your wisdom. The village has to come back. The unity has to return, because the next generation is watching everything we do. No more funerals, no more burying babies, no more mothers crying, no more communities breaking. Lift your brother, lift your sister, lift your people, lift each other. No more hate, no more division. It's time for healing, it's time for vision.
All right, there that is, man. All love and respect. You are, you have been, and you will be under the groove, man. Take care of yourselves and each other, y'all. Power is in the people. One love. Out.